It was the sound of the drums that woke me up, but it wasn't the village celebration everyone had been waiting for. No, it was the sound of something different. Something dark. I heard the rich man's voice shouting at my brother, telling him that my best friend, Kofi, was being a fool. I had to know what was going on. Kofi was a farmer, strong and hardworking, with hands that had felt the earth from the moment he could walk. His father had been a farmer too, and so would Kofi's children be, just like mine. But it wasn't just his hands that drew people's eyes. Kofi had a quiet kindness about him, the way he smiled at little things, and how he'd spend hours fixing things when they broke. He wasn't just a farmer, he was a good man. Then there was Afia, the daughter of the richest man in the village. Her father, Mr. Bodu, had wealth that shone in the sun, fields of cocoa, acres of land, and everything that made his house a palace compared to our small mud homes. Afia was the complete opposite of Kofi. She was refined, a bit proud, and always dressed in the finest clothes. We all knew she was the one every young man hoped would notice him, but no one ever expected Kofi to be the one she'd fall for. I had seen them together first when she came to the market one day. Afia, surrounded by servants, walked past the stall where Kofi was selling his yam and plantains. She stopped. I thought it was just to see the food, but when she saw Kofi, she smiled. He smiled back. It wasn't just any smile, it was the kind of smile that meant something. I saw it in his eyes and thought, no, this can't be. But Afia returned, again and again, buying food from Kofi, asking him questions about the farm, and even helping him carry things. No one could understand it. My brothers laughed. A farmer like Kofi, falling for a girl like her. What would her father say, they said. But every time Afia visited, the way she looked at Kofi told me they were more than just two people passing through the market. Then one day, Kofi and Afia disappeared. The village was filled with rumors. Kofi had taken her away, or she had run off with him. I didn't know what to think. I went to Afia's father's house to find out what had happened, but all I found was anger. Mr. Bodu was shouting, his face red as fire. He said Kofi had stolen his daughter, and he would bring him back to face punishment. "We'll teach him a lesson, that foolish boy," Mr. Bodu growled, pacing around. "How dare he think he can take what's mine?" But I wasn't so sure it was Kofi's fault. The way Afia had looked at him, it wasn't like the way a rich girl looks at a poor boy out of pity. There was something deeper, something I couldn't explain. I didn't see Kofi for a week. But one morning, as the sun was coming up, I found him outside the village, sitting by the edge of the river, looking sad but at peace. I sat down beside him. "Why did you do it?" I asked him. He looked at me with those quiet eyes of his, and then he smiled again, the same smile I had seen when Afia first came to the market. "I didn't take her," he said softly. "She chose me. I didn't ask for anything. I just wanted to walk the land, live my life. But Afia, she saw me for who I am. Not for what I have, or don't have." He paused, his hands rubbing the earth, like he was trying to understand it all himself. "I don't know what will happen. Maybe her father will never forgive me. Maybe we'll never live in his house. But I know Afia loves me. And I love her." I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if the rich man would ever accept Kofi. I didn't know if Afia would ever be allowed to live the life she wanted. All I knew was that the love between them was real. It wasn't about riches, or land, or what people thought. It was just two people finding something that was theirs, no matter the cost. As for Mr. Bodu, well, he couldn't stop the heart of his daughter. She came back, but not to him. She came back to Kofi, and they built their life together, side by side. They didn't need riches or fancy clothes. They had each other, and that was enough.